Hello everyone, welcome to CloudTrail. It is mainly a monitoring and auditing service provided by AWS. This will be our agenda. It'll be a very short topic. We'll see some concepts and then a demo. CloudTrail helps you enable governance, compliance, operational and risk auditing for our AWS accounts. Any actions taken by a user, role, or an AWS service are recorded as events in CloudTrail. Events in CloudTrail are different than CloudWatch events or CloudWatch log events. Events include actions taken in the AWS Management Console, CLI, AWS SDKs or APIs. All the events are logged in CloudTrail. CloudTrail gives us visibility in the activities of our AWS account, and it is a key aspect of security and operational best practices in AWS. CloudTrail can be used to view, search, download, archive, analyze, and respond to account activity across the entire AWS infrastructure which you have deployed or provisioned. We can identify who or what took which action, what resources were acted upon, when the event occurred, and other nitty-gritty details which can be helpful to analyze activities in our AWS accounts. The first thing which CloudTrail has is called event history. We can use event history to view, search and download for the past 90 days of supported AWS activities. An event is actually a record of an activity in an AWS account. The activity can be any action taken by user, role or service that is monitored by CloudTrail. And the activity can be made through AWS Management Console, SDKs, command line tools, APIs also. There are mainly two types of events in CloudTrail: management events and data events. Management events provide insight into management operations that are performed on resources in AWS accounts. For example, when you attach a policy to an IAM role, when you create VPCs, subnets, those are all management events. Then we have data events like get object, put object, delete object. These are all data events. As I said, CloudTrail events are enabled by default when the AWS account is created. To go to CloudTrail console, go to management tools and then click on CloudTrail. This is the landing page or the CloudTrail dashboard. If you see here, it is showing us event history. You can click on view all events. It will show you all events which have happened so far in the last 90 days. We can view it from event history tab also. For example, today I logged into AWS Management Console. Then the root user terminated some EC2 instances. Then this instance created a CloudWatch log group and log stream. Root user also attached a policy to a role. Approximately 1 week back, this root account modified some network ACL entry. Almost 8 days back, root account ran this run instances command. So I hope you get the idea that there were multiple events which were performed by some rules, some user. By root account, IAM roles, IAM users, everything has been tracked in CloudTrail. And the event history will show you for the last 90 days events which have happened in this AWS account. Then you have CloudTrail trails. So trail is nothing but a configuration which enables the delivery of CloudTrail events to an Amazon S3 bucket. As you have seen, event history only keeps all API logs for the last 90 days. What if we want to keep all the actions for longer duration for audit purpose or something else? Using Trail, all those events can be exported to Amazon S3 bucket, CloudWatch logs or CloudWatch events. We can also use trails to filter the CloudTrail events which you want to deliver in the S3 bucket or CloudWatch logs. You can also encrypt the CloudTrail event logs with AWS KMS key. A trail can be applied to all regions or a single region, but you should create a trail which applies to all regions. If you create a trail that applies to all regions, then the configuration settings for that trail would be applied consistently across all regions. We can also receive CloudTrail events from all regions in a single S3 bucket or in a CloudWatch logs log group. CloudTrail configuration for all regions can be managed from a single location. Whenever a new region is launched, CloudTrail automatically creates a trail in the new region with the same settings as our original trail. So when we create a trail for all regions, CloudTrail delivers log files for that particular account from all regions to a single S3 bucket. To create a trail, go to Trail and then click on Create Trail. I'll name it as AWS Foundation Trail, and whether I want to apply this trail to all regions, by default it is checked as yes. As a best practice, you should create a trail for all the regions, but as of now I'll mention it as no. In management events, you can ask this trail to log all operations or only read operations or only write operations or none of the operations. I'll select as all, and in data events you can mention what S3 and Lambda resource operations you want to capture. And finally, the storage location, where you want this trail to deliver the log files. I'll create a new bucket, will not use an existing one because it is better to put CloudTrail logs in a separate bucket altogether. Click on create and the trail has been created. If you go to S3 management console, you should see this additional bucket has been created, which is all API operations logged by CloudTrail. We'll come back to this later on. Then you can subscribe to SNS while creating the trail. We can view the log files using S3. The log files are delivered in a zip file and the format is JSON. We'll have to unzip the file and we'll have to have a JSON reader to read the file. We can send events to CloudWatch logs also. Once the trail is created, click on this. It'll show you all the configurations which you have mentioned, and at the bottom you'll find CloudWatch logs. You can configure a log group with this trail. That means whatever API operations which are logged by this trail would be sent to S3 bucket, and along with that it will be also sent to the CloudWatch log group. Click on continue. Remember, we have to use an IAM role so that this trail can deliver the log files to CloudWatch log group. This is the policy. You can create a new IAM role and then click on allow. After you allow, this trail would be enabled to deliver all the tracked API logs to CloudWatch logs also. We have already seen how encryption is done, but if you want, you can change the encryption configuration later on also. Go to the storage location, and here you have options to change the S3 bucket, to change the encryption configuration and enable log file validation also. Click on this pencil icon and then you can enable encryption later on as well. You'll have to select a KMS key. CloudTrail has integration with a lot of other services. Whatever services you can think of, all those services are integrated with CloudTrail. That means if you perform any API action on any of the supported AWS resources, CloudTrail will log that. You can see that in an event history, which will contain data only for the last 90 days, or you can create a trail which will send your logged data to an S3 bucket or to a CloudWatch log group. Let us go ahead and see if CloudTrail has delivered log files to this S3 bucket. Select the bucket, and this is where the hierarchy starts. If you do not mention any log prefix, it starts with AWS logs, then the account ID, and then CloudTrail. I'll mention all region, but we have used only US East 1 region. Then under the region you have date, and these are the files. You have to download these files and then you'll have to unzip it, and then you need to have a JSON editor to read these files. Typically what happens is, to analyze these logs, either you'll run program in an EC2 instance or you'll use an EMR cluster to run all these log files because they are huge in size. Let me go ahead and delete the trail. Select the trail and then click on logging off, and then select this button to delete this trail. The trail has been deleted. Make sure to delete your trail because CloudTrail will keep on sending data to your trail and that will be delivered to your S3 bucket. The size will grow exponentially over a period of time. As you are storing all those data in S3, S3 will charge you with storage cost. So make sure to delete the trail once you are done with your practice. That's all about CloudTrail. Thanks for watching.